Welcome to the Taxiway Podcast. I'm your lead ramp agent, Fabian, and we're going to be talking about Big League Weekend, some roster updates, Spring Breakout, WBC Updates, and Kyler Murray. So please stay tuned. Alright, before we start the video, please subscribe and share if you enjoyed. And now let's get into it. So Big League Weekend is this weekend, March 7th and 8th. It'll be the A's versus the Angels. Now I don't believe that I've ever attended a Big League Weekend before. Unfortunately, I won't be able to make that one either. But I think my most fond memory of a Big League Weekend was when the Dodgers played against the Cincinnati Reds all the way back in 2010 at Cashman Field. And the reason why I have that memory in the back of my mind is because I remember the broadcast going on, and it was on live TV. And I saw it, and I believe I was at my dad's apartment at the time. And I just remember thinking, wow, why are they playing at Cashman Field? I didn't really understand what was going on, but I was pleasantly surprised. And if I, would have known about it or followed baseball a lot closer at that time, I'm pretty sure I would have made a better effort to go. And from what I was researching about that game, let's pull it up. So I believe the Reds defeated the Dodgers on that day, 12-4, on March 31st, 2010. And there's reports of it being a sellout crowd of 11,896. And so if you've been a baseball fan in Las Vegas for a while now, you know that this is basically Dodger country. And, what I wouldn't give to watch the Dodgers down here in Vegas one more time. I mean, if the A's are able to finish their move down here, like the actual Athletics are able to finish their move down here, then I guess that dream could be accomplished. And I imagine that the scenery would be a lot like how it is down in Arizona or in Phoenix, where it's practically an away game for the home team. Especially when the Dodgers are in town, it'd be a sea of blue and speckles of green and gold. But hopefully, I hope one of these days, at least, before that time, we can get one matchup, one Big League Weekend of the A's versus the Dodgers, and I'd pay money to see that. All right, and now into our next segment, we're going to be talking about Spring Breakout. Now, I didn't know what Spring Breakout was. This is the first I've ever heard of it, but apparently it did happen last year as well. So basically, Spring Breakout is a showcase of each team's prospects. And for this year, the Athletics will be facing the Brewers prospects, and it's set to take place on Sunday, March 22nd at Hohokam Stadium in Arizona. And they haven't finalized who will be participating, but here are some probables, and the only probables that I'm mentioning here are players that we've mentioned here on the channel or aviators that were on the team last season. So we're going to have, for pitchers, we're going to have Cade Morris, Zane Taylor, Wei N. Lin, Gage Jump, Jamie Arnold. And then in the infield, we got Leo DeVries, Colby Halter, Luke Mann, or as Russ Langer likes to call him, Luke the Man, Drew Swift and Colby Halter. And in the outfield, Henry Bolte, Ryan Lasco, and Junior Perez. And, I think games like this are an amazing opportunity for baseball fans and for the prospects themselves to showcase their skills. And to, I guess if you're a fan of the major league club, it's a good way to say, you know what, our club is doing well at acquiring prospects, raising the farm. But if you're in one of those organizations that are struggling right now, it might bring a little bit more despair to you. And I guess they are also going to be updating this format. Usually it's just a 4-day event, and it'll just be like round robin, I guess. But they're saying that they're going to change up the format for next year. So it's still going to be split. You're going to have the prospects from the Cactus League and then the prospects in the Grapefruit League. And, if you're not into baseball, basically the Cactus League is comprised of the teams basically west of the Mississippi, and then the Grapefruit League, oh my goodness, I don't know why I had trouble saying that. The Grapefruit League is comprised of teams east of the Mississippi, and I'm pretty sure that there's some exceptions, but that's just the best way I can sum it up. And so what they want to do is they want to have a type of tournament where all the different teams' prospects will go up against each other, and then at the end they'll be able to crown a Cactus League champion and a Grapefruit League champion. And that's pretty awesome. That I think it would be a good way to build excitement before the start of the season, get people more invested into the farm system. And I think more attention is deserved in minor league sports. That's just me, but I find even though minor league baseball can be mildly infuriating, especially when you're used to watching major league talent, but I enjoy the sincerity of the love of the game. I love the just going 100%, knowing that every game matters to these guys. Every game matters. And I think that's why I get so invested with the Aviators and the pitching and the fielding, just the players in general, because I think that you can just tell in the atmosphere. I mean, there's some times where you go to a major league game and you can just tell that, oh, they're going to be punting this game. They don't care. It's whatever. But I don't think that I've really felt that 100% at an Aviators game. I think, from what I've experienced is that they take a lot of pride and effort in everything that they do, knowing that they have the potential to be the next man up. They want to have that opportunity. They want theirs. And and sometimes with the major league guys, I'm not singling anybody out. I'm just saying that there's some major leaguers where they get the huge contract and then they punt the rest of their careers because they got the bag. They got their bag and they're running away with it. And, I can count that many players on one hand. And I'm sure that I'm pretty sure that the majority of these players, major league players, they take it seriously. And so I'm not questioning anybody. I'm just saying that I don't really get that sort of I don't really want to be here type vibe from minor leaguers, because they understand that each game matters, every at-bat matters, every pitch matters. So that's why I get so excited about minor league even though sometimes I get frustrated about, sometimes the pitching is absolutely dog water. Sometimes the game is going good, and then, some guy comes up and, kind of just tanks the rest of the game. But, everybody can't be on 100% of the time, so it's understandable. I'm just saying that if you're new to minor league sports, just be prepared that the game can be going well, and then it'll just get blown wide open. So, yeah, but that's what I love about minor league sports, especially the Aviators. All right, for our next segment, we're transitioning to the World Baseball Classic. And as of recording right now, Team USA is playing against Team Brazil. And by no surprise, Team USA is winning. Let me pull up the score here. So Team USA is winning 3-1 in the top of the fifth as of this recording. But let's just get a broader picture over the standings right now. So over in San Juan, Puerto Rico, but you have a tie between Puerto Rico and Cuba. They had their victories over Panama and Colombia, respectively. Canada has yet to play a game, so I believe they'll be playing tomorrow. And then in Pool B, you have Mexico leading the group with their one win. And I'm assuming USA pulls through, so they'll be tied for first in Pool B over in Houston. Pool B is comprised of Mexico, USA, Great Britain, Brazil, and Italy. And then over in Tokyo, Japan, you actually have Australia leading the group. Australia had their victories over Chinese Taipei and Czechia. And Team Japan had their victory over Chinese Taipei earlier this morning. And then Team Korea beat Czechia yesterday evening. So it'll be interesting to see who comes out on top. Australia is having a pretty good run, and from the games that I saw from Australia, they're actually pretty good. And, they're by no means known for baseball. I would assume they're mostly known for rugby and cricket. But they're actually doing pretty well. Pretty convincing victories over Czechia and Chinese Taipei. So we'll see how they do against Team Korea and Team Japan. For Japan, they absolutely curb stomped Chinese Taipei. I believe they mercy ruled them in the seventh inning. So Team Japan is cruising. We'll see how Team Korea does, but I love. Actually, before that tangent, Pool D, Miami. Let's see the scores. Team Venezuela is currently leading that pool with one victory over the Netherlands, 6-2. So over in Miami, as of this recording, they're in the bottom of the seventh. Dominican Republic is leading Nicaragua 5-3. So if the score holds, then it'll be Dominican Republic and Venezuela for first place in that pool. So over to my tangent before I forget. I absolutely enjoy the World Baseball Classic. I enjoy it a lot. Especially the pool that is in Asia, whether it's in Tokyo. I believe last World Baseball Classic, they were in Chinese Taipei or Taiwan. I don't really understand the difference, but they're going by Chinese Taipei, so I'll just go with that. And the atmosphere is absolutely electric. Like, I cannot stop watching, even though I have no investment into either of these teams or any of these teams in the region. I cannot stop watching it. It's an absolute party. they have fans that are dedicated, like basically marching bands. You have the fans that create these chants that go along with the music. I love it. I love the tunes. I love the chants. They even have like special dances and choreography for this whole thing. And in the back of my mind, I'm watching this. I'm just like, why can't we in the States have something like that? For those of you who have been to Las Vegas ballpark, we can't even have a noisemaker. We can't have whistles. We can't have horns. We can't have drums or anything like that. And I think it's a shame. I think we should absolutely involve the fans in music. Because I mean, who wouldn't want to go to a baseball game with that kind of environment? Even Japan's minor league is like that. They have horns and they have chants and all this other stuff. It's amazing. Just imagine how much more exciting and in tune with the game if you could pour out your heart and soul into every at bat. Because that's what it is. You're supporting your team, and it's not just the tired old like, oh, let's go Vegas or whatever, or oh, charge, whatever, like it's. I think it's kind of. I think in America we are severely lacking in our chants. I think we need a major overhaul in America on how to chant, because it's the same tired old chants. We need something new. We need something creative. Like if you ever have any time, you should look up European soccer chants. Or you could do like Champions League chants or Premier League chants. And if specifically, England, Wales, Ireland, stuff like in that region, they have the funniest chants. I mean, by no means are most of them. Some of them are inappropriate. I'll say that just to give you a warning. But it's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be engaging. I think we should have something like that here. I think we should be able to bring drums and noisemakers and trumpets into the stadium. Like, I'm not saying that any Joe Schmo can, bring in a trumpet one day and start playing, but I'm just saying that if there's like a team-sponsored fan club that is allowed to bring in instruments and have a list of songs lined up that the team says, you know what, you guys can play this, I think that would be amazing. That would be great. Because I'm watching the United States play Brazil. Yeah, I'm invested in Team USA doing good, right? I don't think that they're boring. I mean, who would be bored when you have Aaron Judge up and basically the dream team of baseball up there playing? But they're not the fans there in Houston aren't having as much fun as the fans in Tokyo. They're not as invested. I mean, they're saying like USA, USA, but I mean, you can only say USA so many times before you get tired of it. I want to have a music section, a fan section, like a diehard section that waves flags and banners and signs that say encouraging things or praising the players of the teams. Because that's how it is in Japan. Like, it's basically like a soccer game. Like when it was Japan versus Chinese Taipei, Ohtani hits a grand slam, and then you see these huge flags up in the outfield, and they start waving. Like, these things are huge. They're taking up rows and rows of seats, and they're just waving and waving. They're absolutely having a blast. And then MLB wonders why a lot of Americans love banana ball. For me, I think banana ball is a little bit too gimmicky. Like, I don't like all the dancing and stuff. I want to have baseball that But that's something that MLB is lacking in, is fan participation, fan excitement, fan engagement. And sadly, Banana Ball is beating the MLB in every aspect of that. So if the MLB allows teams and fans to actually, you know, allow that engagement, allow that participation, having music sections and all these things, I think it would dramatically change the environment and get a lot more young people to tune in. Like, we should look to Asia and get some ideas, because I'm pretty sure a lot more people would be invested, especially if you had these fan clubs and stuff. Like, I understand, there are fan clubs in the major leagues. I'm not saying that they don't exist. I'm just saying that there should be more liberty in how fans are able to participate within the game. And I think that would change the baseball for the better. Because if American baseball continues how it is, I think Banana Ball will easily surpass it. I mean, Banana Ball was able to fill up the Coliseum. They're able to fill up football stadiums that sit 50 to 60,000. Yeah, good luck getting a baseball game to sell that out. Good luck. There's no way. I mean, maybe if you're the Dodgers, Yankees, I'm pretty sure you could fill up a football stadium with that, but just a regular old Rockies versus A's on a random Sunday afternoon? No way. No way. I think MLB, Rob Manfred, they have to think about something, because it's like, I love baseball. I am by no means saying that baseball is a boring sport, but there are times when, it gets a little slow, and then people check their phones, they start yawning. I mean, like, I'm just going to go back to this. I was watching the game, Brazil versus USA, and I believe, like, Bobby Witt Jr. was up to bat, or Terang, or whoever. And then you see in the back two guys playing rock, paper, scissors. Like, they don't even care. And I know it's a different culture, but over in Tokyo, I didn't see any of that. I saw people chanting and cheering and 100% focused on the game. Maybe the Japanese people have longer attention spans over here than over here, but I mean, give me a break. But anyway, rant over. Long story short, I want more fan engagement. I want more music. I want more cheering. I want more people to have a love for the game that I do. And I think that's only going to be good for baseball. So with that, we're gonna transition over to our last and final section. We're gonna be talking about Kyler Murray. And why would I be talking about Kyler Murray? Kyler Murray is some NFL quarterback. He just got released by the Arizona Cardinals today, and he's a free agent. And he got a concussion or two, I think. So maybe football isn't working out. He was kind of the odd man out over in Arizona. But why am I talking about Kyler Murray? Well, for those of you who have followed the A's or, follow baseball, Kyler Murray actually played baseball in college. And the A's specifically, he was drafted when Billy Beane was general manager for the A's, and they drafted him 9th overall in 2018. And I guess as part of that agreement that they had with Kyler, I don't know if they, gave him a contract or something, part of their draft deal. But I guess the A's have dibs on Kyler if he chooses to revisit baseball. So you have a 2018 Heisman Trophy winner in football who might not have a lot of suitors in the NFL. So I guess if nobody's interested, maybe we might have Kyler back in baseball. Now, I'm not gonna pretend to know everything about Kyler's baseball career because I really don't. But if Billy Beane thought that he was one of the best athletes that he had seen for a long time, I think I'd believe him. So we'll only see. So time will tell if the A's get Kyler back. That would be interesting, wouldn't it? If we saw Kyler play at Las Vegas Ballpark for the Aviators, how interesting would that be? Because he played down the street at Allegiant Stadium. So imagine if we see him in a new setting over at Las Vegas Ballpark. That would be pretty interesting. But let me know what you think down in the comments below. That's all I have for you this week. As always, subscribe if you enjoyed the podcast and share this video with anyone you think might enjoy it. I'm also very active on X. I'm trying to update my Facebook account and the Instagram. I still have not got that going. I guess I just need to take more pictures over there first before I decide in uploading anything. But yeah, that's all I have for you today. I'm your lead ramp agent, Fabian, and this has been the Taxiway Podcast. Farewell and Godspeed.